have to understand that the fake narratives that they have perpetrated for years and years on about the swastika, or going back to, say, the Aryan Dravidian theory or caste as a Hindu concept, are all being brought back into the modern American narrative, right? So in the USA, there are three false ways in which caste is being brought in. First of all, there was a fake unscientific survey that was conducted. It was conducted 7 years ago. That data is still being used, and Harvard is the center of critical caste theory and such academic developments using this particular data also. This data is being used across politics, it's being used in university campuses, and if you think about it, fake unscientific data is being used by Ivy League universities and politicians to call Indians and Hindus specifically as racist, as casteist, and discriminatory. Secondly, a Cisco caste discrimination case was falsely created. It was completely fabricated. There was definitely prosecutorial abuse. Castgate.org is a website that documents all of the details on how the state went after two Brahmin boys who really did not do anything to discriminate against their Dalit candidate. In fact, the other candidate who was promoted in place of this Dalit was also a Dalit candidate. So they ignored all those facts. They did not present that case to the judge. And later, the case is dismissed today. These two boys have been exonerated, but that happened only after the defendants, Sundar Iyer and Ramana Kompella, filed a motion for sanctions, which means they directly told the judge that the state is lying. And they said the state should pay penalty. So the state withdrew the case, and today both these pillars, the unscientific survey, the Cisco case, and a false definition of Hinduism, calling it a casteist religion, right, is being perpetrated in the United States to build caste policy, right? Now, this is what I always say, is that if you can't hold the nose like this, you hold it like this, right? So there is a demand for caste census in India, which, is why is this being done after, say, 1931 census? There has been a ban on caste census in India because our leaders at least realized at that time that caste is not a good idea because it is a colonizer's identity thrust upon us. So caste and Dalit and Adivasi were terms that were put onto us in 1900, in the early 1900s. And because of that, these three terms are being brought back again in the diaspora, creating what I call the recolonization of the Hindu Americans, right? So these are important things to remember. And today, Brahmin defamation is becoming common in social media, on Twitter, on Facebook. People go after, even in the Dismantling Global Hindu Conference, they literally said that people with last names like Iyer, last names like Mukherjee, Trivedi, Sharma, are casteist and Brahminical, and so they should be, treated as criminals. So this reminds you of the Criminal Tribes Act of the 1871 that the British imposed, where they actually said that if you are from this particular tribe, you are a criminal and you can be killed at birth. So this is the sort of hate and Hinduphobia and Brahmin hate that we are facing in the US, right? And on social media. And there have been studies done for the Jewish anti-Semitic tropes and for Hindu tropes in the US, which show that if there is social media hate, it translates into physical hate on the ground. And we are seeing that. We are seeing that on a day-to-day basis in the United States, where people are being slurred in restaurants, on streets. There have been physical attacks. There are some attacks which people are not even reporting on children, sexual attacks that are happening, and things like that, which are available to us. But right now, it is, we are fighting it every single day to make sure that the caste trope is not hurled back onto us.